Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello and welcome to Teach Me Tech. I'm your host, Laurel Gray, and today I'm joined by the fabulous Peter Caddick from Ammo.co. And Peter is a sales guru, essentially, around technology, of course. And that's why I've asked him to come here and talk about the topic of sales workflows. Thanks for coming.
Very flattering.
Well, that's me. So we're going to talk today about how to get started with building a sales workflow for your business. And it's something that sounds like this should be really straightforward and simple, but it's not. And usually on Teach Me Tech, what we do is we talk about specific tools. So all the tools that we're going to cover today, we have done episodes on already on Teach Me Tech, or they're relatively straightforward. Here's what we're going to cover. What is a sales workflow and why do you need one in your business? Building a target account list. Mapping out your sales workflow, so how it's different from traditional inbound marketing. Creating a blog on LinkedIn. Sending targeted emails. Reacting to the results that you get from those targeted emails, whether they're good or bad. Setting up and running a qualification meeting. We'll find out what that is. Tracking results. And finally, adapting your system going forward. So, all right, without further ado, let's get started. And I'm wondering, Peter, if you can tell us a little bit about what a sales workflow is.
Okay, well, basically a sales workflow is a plan, right? It's a plan about how you do sales. So you could start off a sales workflow with who you want to target, who are the target companies you want to work with, and then how are you actually going to reach out to them? Is it going to be an email? Are you going to send them a message on LinkedIn? Are you going to send them a tweet? That's basically the first bit, is how you're going to try and generate them as a sale. I think what people do is maybe parts and bits and pieces, but not bring it all together. And I think from my own experience, I mean, when we started out our company, a few years ago now, we needed leads for our business, and I didn't know what a sales workflow was. We tried advertising, we tried Facebook ads. We had some success in different stuff, but the number one thing was what it didn't do well then, which is what I want to try and help people with today, is who's the customer, right? And why are they your targets? First thing, how do you build this workflow into a plan of how you're going to go and get them, right? And then how you track who's responded and what they do, and use the technology available to actually do something with it. So that's really the goal. Learning from my own mistakes, I guess.
Yep, and I'm here to learn directly from you.
Well, I learn every day, though. Don't get me wrong. Every day is a learning curve for all of us. Yeah.
Well, it resonates with me because I know my approach to sales is very ad hoc. Like, for example, if a lead comes in and it's a referral from someone, I definitely put them in a tracking system, but I don't, because I use Asana to track my leads.
We know about that, yeah.
But I don't actually, you love Asana. I don't really ever have a metric or anything to follow up on or to measure that.
Yeah.
So is that what you see? Most businesses have nothing in place, or are using an Excel spreadsheet, for example?
Yeah, but and sometimes that's fine. I mean, sometimes an Excel spreadsheet is an okay place to start. You know what I mean? I think most of, especially in Australia, a lot of business is referral when you do business to business. So it's the nature of the environment, the industry. But I think what you're touching on there is that there's different parts to it. There's generating the leads, and then there's managing them, right? So the bit you talked about there was you get a lead, you then have to manage it on a spreadsheet. You're not sure what to do. I mean, the bit I'm talking about here, though, is actually how to go and get those leads. Because I think a lot of people do rely on those referral leads like you spoke about. But if you ask someone, do you want more leads than referrals? Do you want more? What's the answer?
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
So that's the focus of this, is to say let's get people being able to understand how to generate some more. You're always going to have those referral leads. I mean, that's the idea of having a good business. You have referrals, It's the nature about having a good product or service.
Cool. I'm really excited about this, taking things to the next level. Now, you mentioned that you're going to talk about building a target account list. What's an account
What's that?
list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Companies, accounts of companies. So this is just a target company list. So the reason I've focused in on this is because if people are generating leads or want new business to business, then there are types of businesses that are good customers for them, right? And that perfect customer is a type of company or someone within that type of company. So really this is about just the basic idea of it's good fundamentally to build a target account or company list of the type of companies that you want to do business with and that you think would want to do business with you. So this is a way of getting people used to the idea about targeting companies and then going after them, as opposed to potentially just putting a profile into Google AdWords or putting something into Facebook and letting people come to them. This is about the basics of outbound, which is you start out with who I'm going to try and talk to, who am I going to try and target. So that's what a target account list. It's a list of companies that suit you, right? That you'd want to target.
All right, beautiful. Now, how do we do that?
Okay. Well, first thing to say is you probably already know a lot of the companies you'd want to work with. So let's give an example. If you are a tech business, right, that specializes in logistics, right, and you want to talk to freight forwarders or you want to talk to businesses, importers and exporters, there's a good chance hanging around the office or at some point you've basically built a list of companies or companies you want to work with. And that's the first way to start. Write down a list on a sheet in Excel potentially of all the companies you know about. Now, the next thing you can do is you can go on Google. You can say freight forwarders Sydney, and you're going to get lists of companies through the listings of other companies that you could target. You could go on LinkedIn. You can upgrade on LinkedIn and get a premium account, which is a pretty good idea. And you can basically then look for different companies that fit the bill. So, I mean, first thing to say is it's not actually rocket science when you think about it, because if you're in business and you're trading, you do know the companies you want to work with. You just got to think about them and then just go and find any more of them. Maybe put 100 together to start with.
Okay, yeah, that was my next question is really, do you have a recommendation for people who are really just starting out with this?
Yeah.
How many companies should they target?
100.
100?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So a little bit of a homework assignment for everyone to go out. Just make sure that you write it down. And we know that when we write things down, they happen. So yeah, beautiful. Okay. The next step that you mentioned is really creating or mapping out what the workflow is going to look like from there. So I guess, first of all, get yourself in a space where you're imagining what these companies are that you want to work with or who these companies are that you want to work with. Can you walk us through what your sort of ideal map is?
Yeah. So in terms of mapping a workflow, we're going to come to an example of using some tech to in this workflow. But to map it out, it's just the first point of a workflow is how are you going to send your first message, I guess, and what is that? So say you found the person, right? The company, you've got to find the people within the company. You might not know them. You might have the company, but not the person. So LinkedIn is a great place to go and research who the people within those companies to start with. So let's say you've got the people, you've got the companies. The next thing you want to do is work out how you're going to reach out to them initially. Is that through social media? Is that through LinkedIn? Is that through Twitter? Is that through email, right? So are you going to send them an email, for example, would be the first thing. So the first thing you would do is write up, you can build a little workflow on a slide, on a Microsoft Word or whatever you use, piece of paper, you know what I mean? And it just says, okay, send an email. That's the first thing. Next thing you're going to do is, okay, what do I do if they respond or they don't respond? So, and how am I going to track that? So tracking the response. So wait for a week to see if they respond to my email. Could be the next thing you write in a box, which would be the next thing they do. Now, if they don't respond, are you going to send them another email? Are you going to call them?
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.